Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we have some pretty interesting news to go over. You may have already heard, but Activision accidentally leaked some screenshots, game modes, and features for Black Ops 7, and what we see is honestly pretty confusing. Like, the fan reaction so far has been mixed, and above all else, I think fans are just confused about exactly what Black Ops 7 is trying to be. We initially got all the leaks that we've been covering here on the channel. We got the leaks, the rumors, and all the stories over the course of the past couple of months, and then we got the reveal trailer, which was mostly just campaign with a couple of extra snippets in there, and now we have official screenshots, so let's just go ahead and take a look at those now. Here we can see a few message of the day posts regarding Black Ops 7, and you might be wondering how we got these, right? Well, the story is they were doing an internal developer only playtest, codenamed Parallax, and when they were doing this, somehow, someway, allegedly, they accidentally took the messages of the day from the internal playtest and made them go live on Xbox Black Ops 6. How exactly that would happen, I have no freaking idea, and with how everything is worded here, I honestly feel like this is one of those controlled leaks as compared to being a genuine accidental one. Regardless of Activision's intent, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. Here we can see new mode, Overload, 2 teams of 6 players, each fight to control a neutral EMP device that must be delivered to the enemy HQ for score. Reach the score limit and claim victory by delivering multiple EMP devices. So this quite literally, if you're more of an old school COD fan, this sounds a lot like Sabotage from the older Call of Duty games, except this time around it's going to be a lot easier to score points. Instead of planting the bomb and defending it and then winning once the bomb goes off, instead you can EMP the enemy headquarters multiple times over until you hit the score limit or potentially reach the time limit. This image is also interesting to me because I feel like this is something we are going to straight up see within the Black Ops 6 beta, but forgetting about the game mode here for a second, look at the characters and the map itself. Is it me, or is everything here completely devoid of color and personality? I saw a lot of people talking about these leaks when they first came out last night, saying that the game kind of looks like a last generation game as compared to being a multi-million-dollar AAA backed by a trillion-dollar company Call of Duty title in the year 2025. Also notice how the soldier, whose head looks like it's been photoshopped on, is covered with tons of gadgets and gizmos and what appears to be a booster pack of some kind on his back. Remember, just recently Activision came out and said, oh no, we never intended for wall running or double jumping to be within Black Ops 7, it's just going to be the next evolution of Omni movement, no wall running, no double jumping. Well, why does the dude have a booster pack on? These leaked images here seem to completely disprove what Activision was previously saying. Next up, we have this image right here, and if we zoom into the back, this dude is straight up wearing an Advanced Warfare exosuit. Like, am I crazy here, guys? Does this not look exactly like a character model that you would have seen in Advanced Warfare? Like, Activision came out and said this would be the evolution of Omni movement with Black Ops 7, right? No wall running, no double jumping, it's just going to be an evolution, despite the fact that these features were secretly added to the Call of Duty HQ. I'm not sure about you guys, but the timeline here is not adding up to me. It was initially leaked a while ago that wall running and double jumping were going to be a core feature within Black Ops 7. Then, after that, fans ended up finding those features secretly being added into the Call of Duty HQ, and some were able to actually capture gameplay of it. Then, Activision came out of nowhere being like, no, that isn't real, wall running won't be in the game. And then we see this, where characters literally have exosuits, jetpacks, and booster packs. That sure does sound fishy to me, but let's see what else we can find within this photo. The text at the bottom reads, closed internal playtest day 1, ready to get your first taste of Parallax? And then of course they have the different game modes that are going to be available, including the new Overload game mode, Team Deathmatch, Domination, Hardpoint, and then the Skirmish 20v20 game mode. Now what exactly is Skirmish? Well, here we can see it's going to be 2 teams of 20 fighting to complete objectives across a large map, capture points of interest, destroy payloads, and transmit valuable data to score. Use your wingsuit to flank and reach objectives before your enemy. The first team to reach the score limit wins. I don't know about you guys, but this sure does seem like the next evolution of Ground War here within the Call of Duty franchise, and you can't tell me this is not coming as a direct result of the fact that they have to compete against Battlefield this year. I mean, just look at the facts here, man. It's going to be 20v20, they're possibly going to add in bots on top of that, there's going to be multiple objectives around the map with different goals for each of them, we're going to be wingsuiting around from the sky and off of buildings. Like, it's just going to be a stark contrast to the classic Call of Duty multiplayer experience. Now, Ground War is not new to Call of Duty by any means. It's been around off and on for years, but skirmish definitely seems to be the next version of that, and honestly, I think that's a pretty bad thing, and I want you guys to hear me out on that. If they are putting time, effort, energy, and resources into skirmish, that is going to take away resources from the core traditional multiplayer. Normally, I would say that variety for the player base is a good thing, but we have learned in recent years that variety can be very bad for the COD franchise. Just look at Black Ops 6 for crying out loud. It feels like half the game modes in that game are completely dead because there's like 30 different game modes to choose from, it feels like. You can't find lobbies in 10v10. Control is all but dead. Demolition is all but dead. Sometimes these game modes take like 5 minutes or more to actually get into a game, and then you look at the multiplayer maps. The launch maps for Black Ops 6 were absolutely abysmal, arguably the worst in Call of Duty history, and if history is any indicator, them adding something like skirmish is going to cut into the number of core maps that launch with the game, and during the post-launch seasons, the skirmish maps are going to count as core content, which means there will be less 6v6 maps coming to the game post-launch. We've all seen this before, we all know what's going to happen, and I think it's the exact opposite of what Call of Duty should be doing. Instead of Activision trying to be Fortnite's creepy uncle by focusing on Warzone and shop bundles, or trying to be Battlefield's beer-drinking buddy by having game modes like skirmish, I feel like they need to focus on the core tenets that made Call of Duty great in the first place. You start with an amazing and replayable campaign, you then have a robust multiplayer full of banger 6v6 maps, tons of weapons, lots of progression, and constant updates, and then you have a dark and gritty, challenging yet welcoming, round-based zombies experience. Those are the three pillars of the Call of Duty series, but instead of focusing on that, Activision lately have been trying to copy games that they just aren't, and if you're wondering how that's going for them, just freaking take a look at Black Ops 6, man. That's all you have to do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Here are going to be the supposed leaked images that came in from Activision during their internal playtest that malfunctioned. I firmly believe that this was an intentional, controlled leak. Like, I'm sure these same images are going to be reused for the beta, but it feels so weird to me that they have all this marketing stuff set up within their internal playtest. Once again, word is, the test was solely for developers, so the literal people who are making the game, why do they need messages of the day to explain to themselves how the game modes work and what features are available? Like, they're the developers, they're the ones that made all this shit. Why is that in the internal playtest? I don't know, it seems really weird to me, honestly, but regardless, we still got to learn a few more things about Black Ops 7. This all goes back to what I was saying the other day, man. The marketing for Black Ops 7 is going to be a lot different this time around compared to what we've seen in previous years, and that's solely due to the fact that Call of Duty is experiencing record low player numbers and general interest from the player base just isn't there. Like, it seems like Activision went all in almost. Of course, they did that with Verdansk. They really were hoping Verdansk was just going to save everything, but obviously that didn't happen. But prior to that, they really went all in with Black Ops 6. You know, they essentially went into it knowing that they were going to have 2 straight years of Treyarch and Black Ops and everything, and I'm sure they figured that was going to be a runaway success. I don't know about you guys, but I personally thought that, you know, having 2 straight Treyarch games, having to go 3 years in between Infinity Ward games, I was straight up excited, man. Well, unfortunately, it didn't end up working out all that well. I don't think Activision planned for this, because it turns out that Black Ops 6 would end up being the year that fans got fed up. This would end up being the year where people finally said no more to skill-based matchmaking. This would end up being the year that fans got tired of the same tired and recycled events, and fans also got fed up of developers just putting in the bare minimum and expecting the game still to do well. It's 2025. There are options out there. There's so many amazing games happening, and while every other game is innovating and growing, Call of Duty has been stagnating and getting worse and worse. And honestly, it's been really interesting to watch the downfall of the Call of Duty series in real time. And if nothing else, it's also going to be really interesting to see how everything unfolds with Black Ops 7 if and when they finally start doing some actual marketing for the game. And as always, I'll keep you posted as soon as more information, as more leaks, and as more stuff ends up coming out. So be sure to sub to the channel if you guys haven't already. And for right now, that is going to wrap up today's video. Those are the leaks, that is the news, and of course, as soon as we learn more, I'll keep you guys up to date with a brand new video. But for right now, that's it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening and for continuing to support my channel. And until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.
Yo, make sure you guys sub to Neros